Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. Again, they've done it yet again. They've brought in some brilliant characters for us to play with this year. We've got Sophia Miles playing Beth, Max Brown playing Dimitri, Simon Russell Beale as the new Home Secretary, Ian Glenn as Vaughan Edwards, who is a ghost from Lucas' past. We've explored Lucas' past quite a lot in Spooks, but we go much further back to when he was a snip of a boy, about in his early 20s, and this character was in his life, as was a character called Maya Lan, who's played by Leila Ruas. They were in a relationship together, and that's what kind of kicks off Lucas' journey through Series 9. Sadly, we start with Roz's death, Roz's funeral, should I say, at the beginning of episode 1, and yeah, she's greatly missed, actually. On set as well? Yeah. I mean, we all really miss her because she was such good fun to work with, and such a dry sense of humour that, you know, I miss her a lot. Since the beginning, since when I joined, and actually before I joined, you think, okay, if I join this series, I'll only do it if they kill this character in a really good way, because I think it is kind of Spooks' trademark. I think when Lisa Faulkner got her head put into the chip fryer in episode 2 of the first series, it was so shocking because you didn't expect a character like that to go so quickly, and they've done it a lot. They'll sort of take a character away when you least expect it, and the way that it's done is crucial as well, because you know, there is a lot of violence on television, and violence for violence sake never quite rocks you in a way that you know, when violence really hurts, and I don't mean physically, I mean when it really kind of affects you. I think it kind of shakes you a bit. I think Alex Lanipek, and when that character's was in the last series, that was the one that really shocked me. The way it was done, who it was done by. But yeah, I have asked them to sort of really think about a death that wouldn't be necessarily a violent death. I quite like the idea of a non-violent death. I've thought about it. I've thought about all sorts of things. So I've thought about drowning, because that's kind of a personal fear for me. So yeah, I don't know, something kind of peaceful, I suppose, or a holiday in Mallorca. And it's one of the deals I did with them at the beginning. I said, well, you know, when it's time, do it well. You don't have to tell me about it, because they do like to bring you in and say, okay, this is what we've got planned. And I said, you know, do with the character the best thing that you want to do. Just do it well. So I still don't know if he's going to be around for Series 10. This thing that comes in from the past starts to kind of peel back layers, which we've always done with him, but we get much deeper, and we start to find out who he really is, because, you know, with all of these characters, you know, we are designed as spies to inhabit other people. You know, I think in episode 4 or 5, I give Beth and Dimitri 2 boxes with their legend in them, and it's a passport and an identity which they then have to learn and adopt. And I think the characters are very skilled actors, and so even though we feel we know the characters and their relationships to each other, can you ever really know who they are? Because they're designed to, you know, these people are designed to conceal. So we start to question that, and who's hiding what, and who are these people, and who is Lucas really? Because you know, he's a master at his skills are all about deception. It's interesting because I didn't realise he was until the writers presented me with the script, and then you realise that Lucas has never had Harry's trust. He's always fought for Harry's trust. He's always really kind of wanted it badly, and he's never got it. And he sort of gets it at the beginning of episode 9 because Harry promotes him to the head of section, and there's something about Roz as well, that the way Roz used to look at Lucas, she would always hold something back. She never quite trusted him, but he didn't know why. exactly what we've been talking about, the fact that all of the characters live on a knife edge in a way. I mean, I think the ticking bomb every week is crucial to driving individual episodes along. But watching the characters forge these relationships based on a foundation that can crack at any moment, that these characters sort of put themselves out there and in a way are prepared to give their life for their country on a sort of daily basis. I don't know whether that's really what they do at MI5, possibly not, but that's what we do in the dramatic terms. And I think that strengthens their relationships to each other, because they realise that life is so transient. You know, tomorrow I could walk into a factory and have my head put into a chip fryer. But I think that's what keeps Spooks alive, because you know that no character is ever safe. I think I found the stuff in episode 4 of the last series, where with this character of Deshavin, where I had to go back into the Russian prison and sort of relive this moment where he took himself to the point of hanging himself. I found that quite challenging, because it was just a stage direction. Lucas considers hanging himself, but then the director put a camera in a room and said, "Okay, you take as much time as you like. You find your way onto a chair and put your head in a noose." And that was really difficult, because it's not just a question of standing on a chair and putting your head in a noose. It's psychologically, how does a character get to that point in the room? You know, it's something that you don't ever consider. The sort of 3 minutes before someone's going to do something as shocking as that, what's going through their mind? And I kind of had to try and achieve that. So that was a big challenge. From an outside point of view, there was a brilliant shootout in episode 1. I think it was the final episodes of 1, when we were pursuing Connie, and there was a sort of shootout in the street which involved Roz and Harry rarely gets off the grid, so it was brilliant to sort of play that action sequence. And there was a sniper, we were being followed by the Russians, and we were down in the tubes, and I loved that. I love all that kind of side of it when you get out on the street. Yeah, he's struggling with the deception, I think. Yeah, it's a bit like a child disappointing a father. So there's that relationship happening. But he's firing on all engines, and he gets off the grid as well. We've sort of got another season finale coming, which is similar to the one I just described with the shootout. So we haven't shot any of it yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. It was before we started shooting that rumour, but and maybe it was a good thing that rumour was out there, because I think everyone kind of went, no way, and everyone's upped their game. I think the writers have come in with some really exciting scripts, and I think everyone's been... It's good, in a way. The thing that Spooks does best, killing its characters, keeps everyone on their toes. In a way, the prospect of Spooks itself being killed has made everyone go, right, we've got to work harder, we've got to make this the best series of Spooks ever, so they can't possibly kill it. Yeah. That's I think, the way we've been operating this year. I've said it from the beginning. I said, and this is another thing as well that I think is very important, is that you don't let the series die. You have to, and I'm sure they're watching it the whole time, thinking, okay, at what point do we say enough? Because it shouldn't die. There should be enough kind of suspension to make a movie of Spooks. I think it would be brilliant. I think it's finding the right storyline, and I keep sort of, every time I see the producers, I'm like saying, come on, Olympics 2012, come on, make a film, bring Tom Quinn back, bring Zoe Reynolds back. You've got movie stars ready up and running to do it. I think it would be fantastic, and it would be great to see. I mean, one of the things that Spooks has done brilliantly is put London visually on the screen, and shoots London beautifully. To see that on the big screen would be very exciting. I don't know. I'm sure while I can breathe and get my leg over a horse, I'm sure I'll be asked to do action again, and fine, whatever it is that keeps me in work. But I'm sort of semi-conscious of picking something which doesn't necessarily have a violent content. I'd like to try and do I feel like I'm beginning to be associated with violence, and I'm really not a violent person, which is probably why it's easy to act. So, yeah, I'd like to do something nice and calm and all about love. Harry's already beat me in an arm wrestle. Every time we're rehearsing in the grid, he always takes me out. I swear, his guns are like this, and I'm like, straight away. So, yeah, Harry, every time.
You have to get practice in.
I do, yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.